Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Skees. I'm the Director of Media for TAPS. Thank you for joining us today for this 2023 Dance Championship informational session. I am joined in the office today by Brian Bunselmeyer, TAPS Executive Director, Rhonda Smith, TAPS Director of Fine Arts, and Steve Woohoolen, TAPS Athletic Director. And we are joined remotely by Brittany Dolatina of American Dance and Drill. She's the VP of Curriculum over there. We're all going to get into this dance material for you real quick so we don't waste too much of your time, but I need to cover a couple of things before we get started. First and foremost, this presentation is being recorded. You're going to get a link to that recording. It's going to be sent to the email address that you used to register for today's webinar. It's hosted on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/tapsbiz. It'll be up later today. So if you missed the email or if you didn't register or you're listening on somebody else's computer, you can always find the recording by visiting our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/tapsbiz and looking for the webinars and meetings playlist. You'll see it all right there. Second thing, if you have any questions while we go through the material today, there is a questions feature in the GoToWebinar interface. Hit that little drop down that says questions, type your question in there, and we will try to answer it as we go. There is a Q&A portion at the end of the presentation, so we can play catch up there. But if we don't get to your question, either we run out of time, or if it's just too detail specific, too in the weeds to answer appropriately in this venue, please send us an email with that question as soon as the webinar is over, and we will get you connected with your answer. So with that, once again, I am joined by Brian Bunselmeyer, Rhonda Smith, Steve Woohoolen, and Brittany Dolatina of American Dance. And I'm going to hand it over to Brian right now.
Thank you for joining us here today. This is going to be year 11 of dance. We were so proud to present it when we started, and we're still there today. We're glad we've made more than a century together. I mean, a decade together, not a century. I appreciate you joining us. One of the things, dance does fall under our fine arts categories. It's awesome to be able to offer not only individual competition, but also the team competition. It started as a team, and then we went to breakout sessions to allow individuals and solos. So proud to see where it's grown. We've got Rhonda Smith here. She is our fine art director. Also on staff, we've got Kelly Bay. She'll be that point of contact when you're getting your rosters and your picture, and we're developing things on that end. Will Dixon's in the office here joining us today, but he's also the guy that makes sure all of the presentation material when we get there is rocking and rolling. Steve Woohoolen is joining us today. He's our athletic director, but he also doubles as part-time compliance officer, so he's here to help. Brittany's here from American Dance. Couldn't do it without her. What a great partnership, and what, you know, a partnership goes both ways, and I really appreciate Brittany and the whole staff of American Dance for not only judging the contest, helping us put on, but also to help it grow and also to help us keep in touch with what's going on in the dance world. So I'm going to bounce off real quick. Rhonda, why don't you take over on governance?
Thank you, Brian, and welcome everyone. Thank you for being here today and taking your time to be here with us. And thank you, Brittany, for being here. As Brian said, we can't do this without you, but I'll go on. We're going to do some housekeeping things that we need to know as we go through the season. Most of you know about the Constitution and the bylaws, and if you have any questions about dance, if you'll go to our bylaws, you'll go to a homepage of taps.biz. In the top left-hand corner, you'll see the word bylaws. Click on that, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom to section 261, and everything you need to know about dance is going to be listed there. Know that we are governed by the NFHS Spirit Rules, and you can find that on the NFHS All Access app. So that is any questions that you have pertaining to dance, then you can find it there. So Steve, why don't you help us out with how we know to do student eligibility?
Sure. Thank you, Rhonda. First of all, just remember that all TAPS rules and standards for competition will apply to dance. That's not being 19, having your students not being 19 before September 1st. They must be a full-time student as described in Section 82, full-time day student in the TAPS bylaws. Initially not enrolled in 9th grade more than 4 years ago, and they must be a high school student in good standing. They must be in good standing academically. As far as rank 1 is concerned, you need to make sure that your directors are all listed in rank 1. The fine arts director or program director and assistant program director. Make sure that your emails are correct so that when we are communicating any changes or important information to you, those emails are getting to you. Your directors must have completed the acknowledgement of rules and signed that. They must have also completed the 4 basic teams courses. This is the Intro to Fine Arts Teams course, basic director eligibility, basic student eligibility, and establishing student eligibility. All 4 of those basic teams courses must be completed. In addition, there will be a dance teams course which will be released prior to the event. That must be completed as well. When you complete that, you'll print that certificate and bring it to the competition. You'll be required to turn that in at the competition. As far as your students in rank 1, make sure that all of your competitors are listed there, that make sure that they have completed the student profile, completed the acknowledgement of the rules, make sure the medical history is on file, and they must have a physical on file. Rhonda, why don't you talk to us about rank 1 creating the rosters?
As we go forward, you'll also get some emails from us telling you how to create your roster. Some of you are already pros at it and have done it before, but if you're in the Fine Arts tab, which is the maroon side, you're going to create a varsity team, and across the top you've got your 4 boxes where you choose your school and you choose the event, varsity, and the name of it, and then you can choose the kids that are going to go on that. You will build a roster. You'll be getting things that you need to do and turn in a photo of your team. All of this will be communicated to you probably very shortly and coming soon, so please be aware. And as Steve said, please make sure your emails are correct. This is where we pull all of your emails from there, so if you're not getting it, check your spam. If you're not sure where it's coming from, Brian, tell them where they can find these.
Will, do me a favor. Let's talk about communication here. Let's jump over to the TAPS website. That's www.taps.biz. Up there in that blue bar, you're going to click on the word Fine Arts. It's going to populate really quickly, we hope, and then we're going to go down to where it says Dance in blue. As you go to the Dance landing page, you'll notice that there are several buttons there that will be updated as we go through. The right-hand side there in green where it says Dance Webinar, all emails that we send out will also be stored there. And then John will tell you a little later, but TAPS Dance, that's going to be our dance Twitter. Nothing to see yet because, to be honest with you, we don't have anything from you to see or for us to send out. So if you've got something going on Twitter and your dance team's being followed, please do us a favor and also add TAPS Dance onto your list of folks to tag. So again, we'll be sending out emails, we'll be sending out blog posts, and we'll be sending out at some point all the information posted on the TAPS website.
Thank you, Brian. Also, be aware of there's some very important dates that you need to know. A couple of them have already gone by. September 1st, all of the participation forms were due. If you're not sure if your school signed up for dance, please contact us and let us know if you think you are, but you're not sure. The senior transfer deadline and the transfer deadline for the fall came in on September 5th, so you should have already had all of your dancers in school. December 15th is the entry deadline, and we will be sending out information on how you get all of that done, but just mark these on your calendar so that you don't forget them. And then the most important one is January 13th. It's a Saturday, is the dance championships, and we are going back to the base at the Extraco Events Center in Waco, and it was a beautiful facility to hold that, so it was a great day. So please mark those important dates on your calendar. Now, the day of the competition, you're going to have obviously, you're going to have some warm-up times, and you're going to perform 2 dances, and you're going to get to pick 2 dances from the genres that are shown there. You've got jazz, kick, palm, lyrical, and novelty. So you will choose 2 of those, and performance 1 will be one, and performance 2 will be the other one. And usually we go, the first ones are before lunch, and then the second one is after lunch, so you have time to, get your warm-up going and all of that. You can see performance rubrics on that dance page that Will took us to just a minute ago. All of the rubrics are listed there. Also, Brian, we also have individual events that you can participate in. You can have solos, you can have small ensembles, and then we have the fun individual skills, which are the leaps, kicks, and turns. And all of those are listed on the dance page. They have what you're looking for and what you need to do for each one of those. Those are actually all listed on there. You will only perform one solo or one small ensemble, and then you can be in any of the leaps, kicks, and turns. And you can add those up until the time of the competition. All of that information is on the dance page. Steve?
Yeah, we organized the TAPS dance competition by divisions, and then after that by subdivisions. You can see there on the screen. Division 1 is made up of 5A and 6A schools, large squad, 15 or more members. And then Division 2 are our 5A and 6A schools that are participating in the small squad competition, 3 to 14 members. Division 3 are classes 1A through 4A, large squad would be 6 or more members, while Division 4, 1A through 4A, would be small squad, 5 or less members on that team. We do reserve the right to rearrange this, split, combine, delete subdivisions based on what we get as far as competitors, but we will be notifying you in that situation. Rhonda, how about awards?
This is always a fun way to end the day, is our awards. And the top 4 in each division are ranked, and they receive plaques and medals. Also, ratings are given, whether you get a superior, excellent, good. But if you receive a superior rating for your dances, then you will actually receive a superior ratings plaque. Now, the solos and smalls, they will get, if they get, I am so sorry. If they get superior ratings, they will receive a medal. So everyone that gets a superior is going to get some kind of reward during the day. Now, individual awards are first team All-State, second team All-State, honorable mention team All-State. And the coaches are the ones that will be giving us their nominations, and so we will go from those when we get those as they register. Individual skills, the jumps, the kicks and leaps and turns, those all have individual winners, and the winner of that will receive a medal and a certificate, and then the top 2nd through 5th, they will also get certificates. So we have little troops. We have the kick troop, we have the leap troop, and the jump troop, and it's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun to watch. So those are things that you get to be awarded for. Now, we kind of hurried through some of this because I definitely wanted to have time for Brittany to share some things with us today, because she is the one that helps run this, she and her organization, and they have they know how the organization is the competition is run. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with words today, but she is helping with that. So Brittany, I know you're on here, and is there something that you want to share, things that the judges are looking for as they go through the day, you know, how it's run, what they're looking for? I know you have the girls that are play-by-play and calling that, so could you address that just a little bit?
Yes, of course. So we at American Dance Drill Team provide the judges for the TAPS dance competition. All of the judges that participate in this event and at all of our events do complete a training process prior to competition season beginning. In the large ensemble or main area, we do have 3 judges who will be evaluating all of the team events. We also have a head judge. Each of the 3 judges will provide audio-video critiques using a Surface tablet, and the head judge is there just to make sure that everything is staying consistent throughout the day, and she also keeps the judges informed, like after each division is done, like, you know, where the scores are falling and whatnot. In the small ensemble or solo area, we also have 3 judges. One of those judges does serve in that same head judge role to monitor scores for consistency, and we do have the same process with the Surface tablets that are providing the audio-video critiques. At the end of the day, after the awards are announced, the directors and the coaches receive the written rubrics with your numerical scores on them, as well as the flash drives from American Dance that have the audio-video critiques included on them. The goal with this feedback is that you get your flash drives when you leave the contest. You can go home. Your dancers can better understand where they might have fallen short or what they did really well by listening to that feedback and being able to watch the routines in real time and hear that feedback while they're watching them. And this can also help the dancers improve for future competitions if anyone is choosing to compete again at a later event. As far as the individual competitions, the leaps and the turns and the kicks, there's some information that's on the TAPS website about the different expectations and what the dancers need to have prepared in advance. And again, our staff looks at those different skills in each of those competitions and selects the dancers who are executing those skills the best, and they select those finalists and winners based on the criteria that are listed on the instructions on the TAPS website. So that's just kind of an overview of our role at the TAPS Championship, and if anybody has specific questions about the judging or how that takes place, or questions about items that are on the rubric, I'd be happy to help answer those.
Thank you so much, Brittany. Right now, I don't have specific questions to you. I do have a couple of questions, and guys, if you have questions, go ahead and put those on there, and we'll get those to Brittany so that she can answer them. So whatever you have to ask, go ahead and take a moment while I someone said they came in late, and when you register your team, we will send out information when it is time, and it will be closer to the date of the event. That way we will send out an email. Make sure your emails are correct in rank 1, and then if you're not sure about your participation forms, just write an email to info@taps.biz and ask, and we can check and make sure on your participation form that dance was put on there, that your school was going to participate, so we can double check for you if you're not totally sure. I know Brittany mentioned some of the rubrics and things that were on the website. Go ahead and keep putting your questions on here if you have, but Brian was wanting to take us back to the website and show us a few things if we don't have any more questions.
So we'll bounce us back over to www.taps.biz. Click on Fine Arts, click on Dance. It's going to bring you right back to this page. So we do have some of the awards that are still up from last year. If you're going to go back and see the ensemble results, the all-state teams, and the skills awards. Fan information will be updated, so will the invoice. Scroll on down, Will. That schedule in green, it'll now say 2024 because we are coming back on January the 13th, 2024. We can't do that schedule until after you've made all of your entries. So I know folks are wanting to get rooms and get buses and get everything else, but if you can make sure your entries are in by December the 15th, and we've got a chance of getting you a schedule out pretty quick after we get back by January the 3rd or 5th, somewhere thereabouts. So that schedule. You've got the performance rubrics. Will, if you'd click on that red button that says performance rubrics, it's going to bring you back over and give you the opportunity to click on Jazz, Kick, Novelty, Lyrical, or Palm. It's a great opportunity to start. If those develop questions as you're developing your routine or refining your routine, highly encourage you to reach back out to us here at the office. We'll bounce back a page at Dance. There's the individual entry information, solo and small information. It's all right there. Again, Will prepares us. We do the live stream of both the large and the small groups and the solos, so we look forward to seeing you on that. www.taps.biz. Click on Fine Arts, click on Dance. It's going to bring you to the Dance landing page. That's going to be everything dance as we go along. We'll bounce this back to the presentation. Let's go down to that last slide where it says Q&A. As you go forward, we are obviously wanting to do our best to help you be informed. We've got new folks. We've been folks that have been around a while. Once I got to be 60 years old, and now as I approach the 63 mark, I forget things that I knew last year, and I remember things a little differently. So we'll bounce this down one more slide. Email us, info@taps.biz, with your questions, your concerns, your thoughts. If you don't understand something, go ahead and reach out. There used to be that old story, hey, I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission, but let's make sure we get it right, especially where it goes in with your music. If there's any concerns, the size of the floor, what it's going to look like, we'll do everything we can. 254-947-9268. 254-947-9268. Rhonda's here to answer questions, as is Kelly. info@taps.biz. If you do go to www.taps.biz, click on Fine Arts and click on Dance. Somewhere in there you're going to see our photos, and it's going to take you back over to the Smug Mug account. So if you haven't been there, you're concerned about, hey, what are the costumes that some of the folks are looking at? What does it look like? Please go over there, click on that Smug Mug account. It'll give you an idea of what the floor and the setting are actually going to be. And then you also have that link back to Taps TV. It's the Taps TV network. You can go back, search for Dance, and go back in there and see some of last year's performances as well. Again, we're here to help, do nothing but help most days until it comes time to judge, and then we let Brittany and her crew take care of that part. So, again, thank you for joining us on today's webinar. Rhonda will give you some last thoughts, and we'll send it over to John for his final thoughts on the day.
Just want to say thank you again to Brittany so much for being here and being available and ready to answer any questions. If you send questions to info@taps.biz and I don't have an answer for you, I definitely know how to get a hold of Brittany. We will get you the answers that you need. But Brittany, again, thank you for being here. If you have more questions after this, send them to us. But thank you so much for spending this afternoon with us. You can also go back and re-listen to this after you have the link. John, I'm going to send it back to you because we don't have any more questions.
Okay, we did just get one more. It says the link for the event photography page is not working. I'm going to check on that. But if you just visit taps.smugmug.com, it'll take you directly to all of our photos, and just click on last year's album and you'll see the dance event in there. Just like last year, we are going to have multiple photographers on site for this year's competition. They cover all the performances. They cover the small group performances in the other room and the solos, and they cover the individual skills competitions. And we will have those available after the event. Those are available to all TAPS members for free. You can order prints if you want, but all the digital downloads are free. Use those for your school publications, your yearbooks. Your parents can get in on that. All of that is there. We also live broadcast both event spaces. Those will be available the day of the performance. We have links to all of this on the website, which I'm going to check as soon as we're done here. And we're also posting those links on the day of and in the days leading up to on our Twitter account for Dance. That's @TapsBiz, or @TapsDance, sorry. We've got all of our stuff up there as we move towards the event. Any announcements and special last-minute things or technical problems, anything that we need to announce, we'll put it there. So it's a good place for your parents to follow, so they can see that information. A few other media platforms that we have for TAPS. We've got a podcast that we put out every week, and I've tried to get dance interviews with people every year for the past 3 years, but everybody's busy. So if you see somebody walking around with a microphone, that might be me. And tell me, to spend a few minutes with me, talk about your team and your experience at the championship that year. We'd love to get you on the podcast, but it's such a busy day. I can never pin somebody down to get their thoughts. So that's there. That's all we've got today, folks. Once again, this webinar has been recorded. This recording will be made available on our YouTube page later today. You're going to get a link to that recording to the same email address you used to register today. It's also going to be on our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/tapsbiz, and you can find everything you need there. Let's see. I think that's it, folks. Again, if you have any questions, please send us an email, info@taps.biz. And with that, you folks enjoy the rest of your day.